My last name, Kovac, is actually also part of the band name. And so I have very, very lazy ancestors, so they never learned a single word in Hungarian. But I was born like 10 minutes from the Hungarian border in Austria. And so I never knew that my name actually means something in German as well. So for me it was just a sound. Like Kovac sounded like, I don't know, it's like some sound, you know. And also we don't say, I don't know, how do you pronounce it? Kovac? Kovac?
Kovac.
Kovac. Ah, okay. So in Austria we say Kovac. So very Austrianized, whatever, you know. And then I learned that it means a blacksmith, the smith, and for some reason, I don't know, as soon as I learned that it has this meaning, when I was a child, I played around with that name, and I called myself Frau Schmied, Mrs. Schmied, you know. Yeah, me and my sister played around with that. But I'm really sad that we never learned the language because it sounds very musical, actually. I really like it. I'm not only saying that because we're here, but I really do. I really like it. I am switching it on now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How does it sound? Okay,
It's okay.
Not very different. Ah, there it is. Let me do some changes. My musical educational journey is quite a stormy one, if I may say. I don't know, at some point when I was a kid, I was only interested in telling stories and singing and being dramatic and fantasize and have, you know, inventing my own fantasy language and singing in a very weird way and just singing to myself also to give myself comfort when I was sad and stuff like that. And that I carried on with that kind of musical, that way of dealing with emotions in a musical way all through my childhood and early adolescence. But at some point I think I had to learn an instrument for that school that I wanted to go to, and then I thought like, yeah, I'm gonna be a drummer. Because, you know, I was always drumming all day long, you know, I did stuff and was a very nervous kid. But for some reason my parents got me a guitar and I was like, come on, like, who wants strings, you know, I don't like I want to just drum on stuff, you know, why would I play guitar? And so I wasn't really into that instrument, but then I got into it, and then I had a really great teacher. And I didn't really got into the classical stuff until I was 14. But until then, we were going through old and new songs. I learned a lot of Tracy Chapman, Ani DiFranco, what's her name? I don't know, so many things. Bonnie M, the Beatles, of course, some U2 stuff for some reason, I don't know. A lot of Irish and traditional Scottish stuff as well. And then I thought, I don't know, I got really ambitious, and for some reason I thought, I have to learn classical music. So I changed schools and I learned classical music, but the teachers that I had in that time were really strict, and I almost lost my passion for music because it was so strict and so mean. I cried every day, it was really horrible. And then I thought, no, classical music is not my thing. I have to learn jazz. So I left school, I finished school, and then I went to Linz, the city in Austria, where I studied jazz singing. And I didn't really like it either, because it was also not my thing. And then I left university without, you know, finishing my studies. And I realized, no, the thing is, I was always a songwriter, I was always a storyteller, and I was always combining singing, playing, being playful, and playing around with language also. So I finally got my confidence to be a songwriter without having to be like a virtuous guitarist or singer, you know, But I love those influences. I love that I carry around my classical education and my jazz education, because you can hear it.
Do you play?
I met my band members in, wow, that was 2012, I think. That was right after I came back from a trip to New York. I stayed there for a few months, and I really, for the first time in my life, I started confidently writing my songs. Because before I would always like put it down and be like, nah, it's not good enough, it needs to be jazzy or whatever, or complex, really genius like. And then I met, through another colleague who is a jazz piano player, I met the boys, and I realized that they were so sensitive about how they accompanied me and like how they just were talking to each other, and I just thought I can trust them with my songs. And so I just asked them, would you like to jam my songs and would you like to work on them with me? And so that's how it all started, and I'm incredibly lucky that it worked out that well. Yeah.